Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. I'm Bart.
I'm Scott.
And we've got a single malt.
Single malt.
Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. I'm Bart.
I'm Scott.
We've got Yellowstone, an American single malt, baby. Hello.
Got it right. Third time's a charm.
We're going to test it.
American single malt style.
Is it from the TV show? Boom. All right. So I was curious because they got the show Yellowstone out. This is since 1872. Do you know the history of this? Anything?
Nope.
Really?
Am I supposed to?
No.
We've done a
curious.
Yellowstone.
I know. I'm just with the TV show out.
Probably
With the TV show.
28. I'm trying to remember when.
Actually, I wouldn't have known if we did one or not.
It's probably 2015, 2016. We did Yellowstone bourbon.
I poured me first.
One of their first offerings,
Really?
first bottlings.
All right.
And we haven't done anything since.
54% ABV.
Yeah.
750 milliliter bottle. It says Yellowstone since 1872. Limestone Branch Distillery Company in Lebanon, Kentucky. So
it's sourced.
right. Let's see. Yellowstone American Single Malt stems from the previously established roots, and then it goes on and on and on. But I love American single malts, so we're talking malted barley.
Do you love them all?
Not all, but most.
You love the category.
I do. I want more and more American single malts. I'm a big single malt Scotch fan. So when the American single malts started coming out, I was like, ooh, interesting.
There's a funky, earthy
Yeah, it's kind
brownie.
of like a brownie.
Chocolate brownie, earthy, soil.
I get, what is that? I get like a spiced mountain fresh spring water.
Yeah. Gross. Yeah.
That's
As soon as
interesting.
you said that, it was on the
Yeah,
list.
it's like a crisp, spiced fresh water spring. I don't know what that is. I did grow up in the mountains, but they were the mountains of Evergreen, Colorado.
A little bit of pine, a little bit of some of that mountain pine we get on some American single malts from Colorado and
Ooh,
New Mexico.
wow. That,
Malty.
yeah, wait till you sip
What's
it.
our ABV? 54?
Yeah, 54. I sipped it. You're about to get a malt extravaganza. It's a malty extravaganza. Because there's fresh mown hay in there. I almost get like a touch of a rye kind of richness. I'm not saying there's rye in this. I know it's an American single malt.
I like the finish. I did not like it up front. Right when I took a sip, there was something on the nose and the palate that was really kind of sour.
It's like grass. It's like fresh mown fescue.
Mid palate and finish,
Oh,
better.
it gets sparky and peppery in the mid palate.
Malty, caramels.
In the finish, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Pine, a little bit of pine.
Yeah, it's almost like the grass slash fescue fresh cut lingers right into the beginning of the finish and then dissipates off to give you kind of those caramels, honeys, and toasted oak. Wow. The
So
finish.
it could be the white dog that I'm getting right up front. That's you.
Okay. All right. I didn't think
It could be a little bit of the bite of just that white dog, that unaged spirit, youthful spirit showing up front, but it disappears into a very nice mid palate and finish that's malty, caramels, a little bit of mint, the fig, not fig, but the what I call it, pine. A little bit of a pine note.
It says 7th-generation family distillery.
Let's put some water on that and see what happens. I think that's a little bit of the youth showing. I gave you, you got about a drop there. I'm going to put a hefty one on.
Go ahead
I
and
got
do
a
one
little
more
bit
for me.
bigger.
You know what? I've got 2 white dogs sitting on my shelf back at my bar. And you might be exactly right. I like white dog. But that could be the youth that's in there. I think you may have nailed that exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does have a little bit of that. It's like a sweet and sour note is what the white dog gives me.
Mm.
And that is kind of on the forefront.
Water got rid of it. Not completely. Dissipated some of that up front, off-putting note I was getting.
Mm.
Actually, quite a bit of it. It's really moved into more of a creamy, caramelly, malty.
Does it say how old this is anywhere?
I
don't see it.
I doubt it.
Yeah, you're right. The white, I think you're 100% right. I think that was a little bit of the youth.
Uh-huh.
That white dog's sour sweetness, and with the water added, it's toned that down to the point where I don't really get it anymore.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, 100% malted barley. It is aged in new charred American oak barrels, so that's interesting. I'm skipping some of these other things. Okay, yeah. Huh.
That is interesting. New charred American oak barrels. You think they'd use refills?
Right, yeah.
Second fill.
But nope, they're going for the new, much like a bourbon.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wonder what that one would be like in refill barrels and a little bit older. I think
it would have to go a lot older, though.
I'm liking this one with water. I was really put off by that note up front, neat.
Here's the weird thing. I kind of like, that's the part where I like white dog. I know I'm weird. I like a little white dog.
Another drop?
Sure. And what it was giving me was that cut fescue, sweet and sour, was the white dog.
I don't know if it was even fescue. It was
a fescue.
It was a cut sweet and sour or something.
Or Bermuda? I have Bermuda grass.
It's more like that, I mean, and not trying to be funny, but it's more like that mulch pile, or not mulch pile, but you got that pile of grass clippings.
Right.
That you haven't picked up yet.
Yes.
And it's sat there.
Yeah,
and then when you
it's fermenting
it's
almost.
fermented, that moldy underneath.
Right.
Type when you move it.
Yep.
Yeah, so, which white dog youth.
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're 100% right. That was a good call. Mm. If you haven't had white dog, go try a good white dog from somewhere. Because once you taste that unaged whiskey, you'll be able to pick it up in other bottlings.
This one's getting better with water.
Yes.
It's not completely gone that note, but it's with water here, 2 rounds for me.
Yep.
98% gone on that sour up front.
I agree 100%.
There's just a hint of it remaining in
Yep.
there. Much better with water.
You nailed that. Yeah. Because with the water, though, what are we getting? I'm getting a little bit more of that malty. The barley will always come through as like a beautiful, like cut hay almost, rather than that grass seemed a little bit more on the youth side. And that's one thing I love malted barley in particular anyway. I am curious though. I think I'm getting some of those vanilla oaks in there. Not a whole lot though, considering it is a virgin oak barrel in a new charred American oak barrel. What?
As soon as you said virgin oak, that's some of those notes as well. Which, I mean, bourbon is aged in new charred oak barrels, but virgin oak in like the Scotch or the single malt world can sometimes impart a little bit of a funky, tangy wood note, and that's some of this as well.
I'm getting a little bit of caramel cream in the finish now. Finish is really nice. Yeah, it's like a marshmallow caramel cream bubbling in a big pot. I don't know why I'm seeing that.
I'm going, I'm jumping the gun here. 87 with water, 78 without water. So definitely add water to this one. It gets much better. 87 overall.
Huh. I'll give only one score, and that score will be 85.
I'm too ahead of
I
you.
know, I kind of picked that on purpose, but I thought as long as you're doing these two, I'm going to pick one in the middle. I was kind of leaning at an 85 where we generally start at 80. I like single malts. I love what American single malts are doing. And I don't mind White Dog. So only one score. I do wish they would throw an age on there. Maybe they will as they move forward. Not bad, but what is the price point here? Do you remember?
On this one?
And
$45.
oh, that's worth it.
It is.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I gave some non-visual cues to Bart. Like this one's going to be a little
I don't know. He made a little like woo, and I was like, what? It's going to be $100+.
Nope. $45.
Wow, yeah, that's worth it because when you add the water to it, it tones all the things down that some folks won't like with those White Dog flavors. And I don't mind the White Dog, so that's a very interesting single malt at an affordable price.
You know, and then as soon as I said I'm still pretty sure we've done a Yellowstone one, but I was thinking of Wyoming whiskey, which we had done early on, and we haven't done any Wyoming whiskey for a while.
That is true.
I'm pretty sure we still did Yellowstone.
I don't remember
early
Yellowstone, but you know, the only thing I know from Yellowstone is a TV show, and I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't watched it either.
Any
We're like
part of it. I know.
two people that haven't. seen
No,
it.
everybody else has seen it. They love it. They were telling me about like some kind of motorcycle gang that's camping out.
Yeah.
There's a big fight. I'm like, nope.
It's like, no, you've got to subscribe and pay for this NBC.
Yes, no,
special.
no,
like
it's the
Peacock.
It's the
But that's
Peacock.
it's NBC.
Okay, and I'm like, well, I don't
Yeah, I'm like,
have
I don't
that.
pay for.
And then they came
NBC.
forward. One of my buddies, a history buddy, was like, you got to see the 1878 version with what's his name that was in We Were Soldiers. He's got the great voice that says meat.
Sam Elliott?
What's for dinner? Yeah, that guy. He's in there. And they said, you got to see that. I'm like, well, that sounds intriguing.
Yeah, I haven't watched them.
Yeah. I don't know. What do they got? The 19.
It's like I already paid for Amazon,
Apple
Netflix,
Plus.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
Apple.
You still got Disney?
Oh, yeah.
Dump the Disney.
Yeah.
The D
No, we
plus
made it this far.
should be D-. It's terrible. Scotch it. Skip everything
Go.
else. Scotch it. You Scotch guys.
Let's launch it.
Dummies. Dummies. I gave you a double D.